Hey you guys, and welcome to Hair Fetish LV YouTube page. This is our first hair tutorial, so thanks for watching. We're going to be doing a full sew-in with a lace frontal today using no tape or glue. This is my glueless sew-in method for the lace frontal. So yeah, get into it. We're starting off with the braid down. This is how I braid her hair.
Hitman B. I wanna know if he gon' do it right. I wanna know if he gon' take a bite of this candy. Wanna take you on a ride. Come inside. I'ma let you spend the night, boy. You make me put it up in the air like around I go. Tell the DJ to play my song on the radio. He set my body on fire.
Okay, you guys, I just wanted to stop real quick so you guys can see something that I do. The braiding pattern in this is basically what makes it a glueless install, because normally when you do a frontal sewing, you braid all of the braids straight to the back. If you see around her ear, I have a braid that's curved upwards. That's pretty much how I anchor the frontal across her hairline when I sew it down. That's basically the way I make it where I don't need glue or tape. I have those two braids on the side of her hairline, right curved by her ear. That lets me basically pull the frontal tightly around her hairline, and I can sew it down using those two braids. And I don't need glue or tape. It stays down their whole install. So yeah, that's pretty much the way. Right now I'm about to sew in the frontal, and you can see I'm going underneath the frontal and starting off on those two braids. I sew it down, and it's behind the hairline of the frontal too, so you don't see any thread, um, from the front at all too. This is all being sewn down underneath the frontal first. Okay, now I'm adding the net to the back of the braids. I like using a net. A net is not necessary at all, but I like to use it. I feel like it lasts longer. It feels flatter. Um, and I also find that there's less shedding too, for whatever reason too. Sometimes that thread being wrapped around the braid can just cause a lot of tension and just have a lot more shedding and a lot more breakage when she takes her hair down. Uh, this is a really messed up shot right here. I'm still getting used to shooting. So yeah, that's just a bad shot all the way around. But basically I want to show you guys where I start the first track. And I like to start that first track right at the edge of her frontal. So that way it's a seamless transition from her frontal to the bundles in the back. There's no gap in between. It should just, as when the hair falls, it should fall, very seamlessly from the frontal to the bundles. And I also like to sew the first track underneath the braids. It's very important too that you're sewing using that thread, sewing it through the braid and not through the root of her hair back there, because it's already tension because we're pulling each braid up and sewing it into the next braid. So make sure you're sewing it into that braided part and not on her roots in the back. Okay, because that can hurt, and that's just causing more tension. You don't want to add any more tension than you already are. Everything you do, you should try to find ways to alleviate less tension, have less tension basically. So yeah, there I am sewing the track in, and notice I don't really cut the tracks either. I fold them over because a lot of my clients like to reinstall their bundles, so it's a lot easier to do that when you don't cut the tracks. Yeah.
Pull up, and you can get it. My vibe, yeah, you can't miss it. West side, that's how I'm living. You know where I came from. You make me put it up in the air like around I go. Tell the DJ to play my song on the radio, on the radio. He set my body on fire. He set my body on fire. He the one I desire. Can't nobody take me higher. He set my body on fire. He set my body on fire. He the
And now you see me just taking the bundles all the way up to the edge of the frontal. You take it all the way up to the very, make sure they connect. There's no gap in between. Now we're doing her baby hairs. I really like to use a foam doing baby hairs. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Once I do her baby hairs, that helps to melt the lace even more. She had ordered a translucent lace from a company online. This lace was not translucent at all. I did bleach the knots, but even after bleaching it, the lace was still some weird, just a lighter color than her skin complexion. I put makeup on it as well, and it's still just that was as good as I could get it to look. And that's just the reality of it too. Each company uses different lace when they sell the frontal. Some lace just melts really easily. I don't have to do anything to it. Then there's some lace that even after I do bleaching the knots and I didn't even pluck this at all either. It's just so you know too. This wig already came plucked like that. I didn't want to pluck anymore because it was already uh, the hairline was already pretty customized. So yeah, but this is the finished product. We didn't use any glue or tape. It's a full sew-in. She used 2.5 bundles. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on my video. Click the link in the bio if you want to schedule an appointment and download my song Body on Fire.